Fellow adventurers, welcome to the Min-Maxed Podcast. We want to thank you for joining us, and you do so as we continue Bloodlords. As always, we'd like to invite you to join our Discord, where you can hang out with us and other listeners of the show and talk about nerdy things like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or just hang out with a great community. Also, if you'd like to throw a little financial support our way, you can check out our Patreon, and a shout out, as always, to those at our Lich level and above. Rock Jedi, Wolf, Blartimus Slump, Thunder Mammoth, The Trevor Project, Das Chris, Vizgig, AC Goldner, Eric R, Ope Just Gonna Sneak Right Past You There, Indie Link, Tawdry Monster, Mercutio, Angel Shadowheart, Cyrendon, The Necromancer Forever, Doc Holiday, Corey, Robert T, Scrap Gear, Ted, True Chaos God, Jason K, Dicky Lopez, Bobson Dugnut, Rickety Rope Bridge, Alex K, Doma Alaka, Frank L, Just Mike Works, Ross D, Argoon's Long Lost Elbow, Fig Deer, Zach S, Jimmy H, Mr. Turtle, Sleeve, Darren, Caleb W, Pickle, Mr. Grim, Fire Down, M54 Ewas, Jameson S, Eric R, +24 Salmon of Whacking, I'm Not a Robot, George F, Leo Hart, Har, Witch Hunter, Jeremy D, Matthew M, Scott E, Progeny of Kukulin, Liz Giggles, Callistria Specialty, Brandon K, Gringus Maximus, Andrew G, Ebon Flames, Booming Thunder, Henry, A School of Fish, Ice and Jam, and Chris W. Thank you all so much for your support. And now a recap of session 71. We're outside Gristle Hall having just fought Carenza the Medusa. And when I say we, I mean Gix and 3 statues. With 3 petrified allies, no oversight, a quiet place to work, and nothing but time, Kix and his devil make strides towards future lichdom. Eventually, Kix brings back Lucan with a salve he went to Mechitar to get. Kix and Lucan then spend some time having fun in Mechitar while also selling loot and getting another salve. Seldeg Bedless shows up at our hotel and is a party pooper. We go back to Gristle Hall and unstone Arius and Shara. We explain everything and Bedless asks us if we will follow through on these leads, which would be perilous. Before we can fully answer, a voice in all our heads demanding an audience with Geb himself effectively removes any choice. We teleport back to the theater, we go through some more loot, say hi to Argoon, and make plans. Shara does some retraining and praying, Kix and Lucan find a way to bring the theater to Mechitar with us, and Arius is a skeleton.
So you've successfully transferred the magic over.
I have a really fun time telling Argoon what we've done. Like, if he tries to interrupt us while they're doing this ritual, I'll be like, just don't bother us, Argoon. This is very important work.
But, okay, fine.
And then, like, the next day, all right, I have a surprise for you, Argoon.
Oh, what is it?
Well, you know how we were looking for a way to move back and forth from Grey Dirge to Mechitar?
Yes.
No longer necessary. We're going to bring you and the theater with us.
What?
It can now shrink down into a little tiny cute dollhouse. It's adorable.
Hey, wait, he can't gasp.
Sure try.
How does he Oh yeah, he probably does gasp, but it's more of a like
Gross. A slurp. How fantastic.
Wait.
And if you shrink it down, he immediately like scrambles out and then up the top of it, almost like a huge
fucking like King Kong.
Yeah, like a King Kong hand on top of the mansion. And he kind of sits on top of it and he bounces up and down.
This is nice. I feel big.
Yes, and now when we go camping, we don't have to sleep outdoors. Thank the gods.
I'm so curious on what you do when you're away. Now I get to see.
Now you'll get to come along, and we'll get your colorful commentary. How marvelous. Okay, so we've done that. That's fantastic. I want to set up a meeting with Stitch Skull.
Okay. Easily done. At this point, you have enough clout within Grey Dirge through Burline and tales of your success in dispatching of the Graveclaw Coven.
And the sheer fact we're level 11.
Also that.
He had some interesting spells, and I wonder if any of them would be useful to me now that I'm higher level. He's like,
That's an
we'll teach you
interesting
these spells, and I'm like, okay,
Oh, that's
cool.
right. Yeah.
But they were all too high level for me at the time.
Let's see. Looks like, really, they're just a couple of second level spells, actually. Looks like.
Well, that's no use to me, probably.
And here are the Kuthite spells.
Horrifying blood loss. You had to have decided. You must have decided that they weren't very good if you didn't take them. Well, they're all like arcane, divine, occult. Are any of them?
Even primal? No.
Yeah, there's a lot of occult spells here.
Teeth to Terror. You should take that one, Kix.
Sounds fucking terrible.
Target believes its teeth are falling out, crawling along its face, stabbing into its body, and cramming themselves down its throat.
Oh my god.
2d4 mental damage and 1d4 persistent mental
I
damage.
was frightened.
That's fucking horrifying.
Tyler's gonna have nightmares tonight.
I hate everything about that. Do you want to play out the Ortigar RP?
Not really. I just want to get in there and find a good place, like at some point to go hide the brick drug, the Gerbrick.
We'll have to let people know which one they prefer. I don't know, brick drug doesn't quite work out, but Gerd brick.
That makes me think it's a brick of drugs.
Brick of drugs.
Like,
brick drug. Gerbrick?
Gerbrick.
Gerbrick.
To be honest, with your clout, with your standing with Berline, it would not be difficult for you to walk into the temple and find a place to secrete the
I think it's secret.
secret.
Secrete's
sorry.
a whole
Did you
different
say
thing.
I said
secrete? That's a
secrete.
whole
I did.
different thing.
Secrete's a whole different thing.
That's my bad. To secret away the brick. There you go.
I don't know where I was carrying that brick, but I do not intend to secrete it.
Instead of RPing that bit, you can do something stupid with what I said there.
Yes.
You're welcome, I guess.
No, honestly,
I
I
hate
think
it.
I would have a really good time having dinner with Stitch Skull again and just like being very flamboyant and acting like I'm his friend, just because I know I'm fucking him over by putting Gerbrick somewhere in his stupid temple.
His will DC is so pitifully low that
Can
you
I
would still,
even fail a deception check with a plus 22?
even if you rolled a 1, you would not critically fail that check. You would just fail it.
I love that.
So, yeah.
A good thing.
I was going to roll it just for fun. I got a 26, so good thing.
Yeah, you would easily be able to fake your way through the entire dinner, gossiping about Grey Dirge. You would even get some little tips. He hasn't heard from Berline in some time, because she had gone away to Eled and she hadn't returned as of yet, or at least hadn't contacted her.
Now, we'd been to Eled, and that was the place where the whole town was like weird, fucked up zombies that wanted to kill us, right?
No, that was
Or was that Pat Ged? That was Pat Ged. Okay.
Eled was where the other bloodlords and stuff were.
That's
Okay.
where you met the vampires, Bloodlord.
Gotcha. That
Yep.
with the college and
Did the
Yes,
raid
with the
and
college
the
and-
college.
yes. All right. Okay. Cool.
Oh, yes. You find out some bits of gossip, like for example, Tafgekta has been using your names to try to gain clout for Grey Dirge in general among the political elite in Geb, and has actually secured some solid contracts with the Carter's Consortium because of your connection. And the Builders League is actually expressing some interest in putting their skeletal hand back into Grey Dirge.
Kind of forgot about that whole mechanic.
What about that other mansion town thing that we kind of set up? We should stop there and check out how that's doing too.
Oh, with Grella, where the benefactor was?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that place.
we
with
should
the
swing by
Carters.
there.
Do I need to start like an Excel spreadsheet for like settlements and income percentages? and
Places that
taxes
we
paid?
have a hand. Yeah.
But yeah, you're able to find out some gossip, and you do have some clout on a small scale right now. At least for the small scale of Grey Dirge. And the fact that the Builders League is considering re-involving themselves. They're actually considering repurposing Grey Dirge Bank entirely.
I can go back to work?
I mean, no, they're repurposing it not as a bank, but as something else.
You could maybe work in the same building, but you wouldn't be able to be a banker.
They might need an accountant.
Everybody needs an accountant.
How about a cashier? They need a cashier.
Cashier.
Kicks the
Good thing
cashier.
you have an eye for numbers.
Yeah, fuck. I just roughly estimate everyone's totals.
Yeah, that looks like 2250.
Sir, I believe it was 25. I said it looks like 2250. Oh, sorry.
Roughly 22.
Roughly 2250. Oh, yes, sir.
So, yeah, you're able to catch up on that, but you're also able to, hide the brick. No problem at all. Excited to come back on that and check it out at the end of book 4. That'll be fun.
What kind of damage it's done?
Oh, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
If Shara ever dies, Gurdrug's coming back as a frickin' like he killed enough frickin' Kuthites that he has rematerialized as a ghost. Like a full-fledged ghost.
Just reaches down and picks up the brick and then just carries it with him. That's good. We keep that on the back burner. Yeah, you're able to do that. No problem. Sherry, you said you want to do some retraining?
Yeah, so Shara needs to spend a week basically just praying to Urgathoa to try to retrain out of conceited mindset, because she's now already got most of those benefits from other things that class feature gave her, and none of the downsides. So
no more critical failure when you accidentally fail a will
critical
save?
failure if I fail a will save, a mental will save. But I already have the bonus is, or the benefit was that if I succeed, I critically succeeded. Well, I now have the will thing where I critically succeed on a success. So
Good old resolve.
good old resolve or divine something or other for champions.
Whatever they call it.
But the reason for the prayer is I want to train that into desperate prayer, which is a once per day. Even if I have no focus points, I can instantly recover 1 focus point for a free action, which basically would then allow me to recast that healing spell.
Sometimes you need it twice in a combat.
That certainly would have been beneficial a couple times.
During that week of retraining, as you're praying fervently, and part of your prayer, like, what would you consider prayer to Urgathoa? Like, what does that look like to Shara?
I know we've discussed a lot about the gluttony, just lots of eating. So, maybe not necessarily, I mean, during the actual prayer portion, it's just probably like most clerics or champions, it's like really true prayer, but to augment it, yeah, she'll throw some big parties or something, bring in a lot of people.
I'm sure Lucan would be happy to have a rager or two that week.
Absolutely.
Well, we now have 2 mansions. We've got the dollhouse and the mansion. We can have just huge parties.
Oh, that's fucking great. During your week of prayer, contemplation, at the end of the week, you have a vision. It comes upon you. Much like the last time you received one of these visions, you seem to be in an endless graveyard, covered with a low, roiling fog, and shapes and silhouettes, always from the corner of your eye, all around. And a voice, Shara, 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 what will you do?
What will I do with what?
Here you are, about to travel to the capital to speak to the Ghost King. I know what he wants for you.
Sex.
So-
And would you be able to tell me what that was?
No, I won't. I could, but I won't. Instead, I'll leave you with this. Kemnebi plans to do something. Kemnebi plans to do something that I would rather like to see him do. However, Geb would rather he not.
Who's talking to you right now?
Urgathoa is talking to me.
Apparently, his god.
Your fucking god's just having a conversation with you. You're important. I like it.
Spent like a week praying to her.
Yes. Please answer me.
So what would this entail?
Well, you've already found some things, but not the whole story. I know the whole story. You are my little compass. Once you find that point, pray, I'll find you again. And once you find that fulcrum point, whether you're going to push along the creation of such mass amounts of children for me, or maintain the law and order that Geb creates to allow a nation of my children to exist. Such a choice. Interested to hear your take.
That is a choice. The, shall we say, instant gratification versus the long-term survival of the nation.
And it's just been like silhouetted shadows along the edges of your visions, whisperings around the corner, and you have to turn constantly to have this conversation. But the shadow coalesces in front of you, and you don't see features, but you feel the weight. And a scythe falls right in front of you, digging into a grave. And then the shadow disappears, yet the scythe remains. On the gravestone it reads, Shara Imbrex. And the vision snaps away.
Yeah, that's weird. Because even she sounds like she's not 100% sure what she wants.
There'll come a point where you're going to have to make a choice.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
That's the seeds of that. And it's coming this book. So we're going to be discussing that a lot this book. No choices now. Just think.
We'll have to think about that.
Careful, you have a brain. Kicks will make it explode.
Ah!
I might explode otherwise. Just trying to decide like what this character would do. She definitely already promised that she would help make lots and lots of children for her.
So you're just gonna get pregnant over and over again?
It means the undead.
Yes. That's exactly what's going to happen.
This turned into a weird Lamash tooth thing real fast.
I was going to say a weird Christian thing, but whatever.
Tomato, tomato, man.
Okay.
I know those two things don't equivocate to each other at all.
They really don't, but, whatever. Babies are basically just little monsters,
At that point, really, it's just a matter of what downtime you guys want to do before it comes time to get to the, to head back to Mechitar.
Mechitar!
I'm assuming I do get my retraining, though.
You do get retrained, yes. Then, if that's the case, we're probably going to get us to Mechitar. What's your travel method?
I assume teleportation.
I would assume teleporting back.
I'm just gonna know this is like an innate skill by the end of this.
Teleport, rest inside the theater, teleport again the next day.
Just stop somewhere.
Pop up the fucking...
Drop a mansion. Go inside. Spend 24 hours. Come back out. Teleport.
The best part of it is we're not talking about like the wizard from EC mansion. That's just like a slit in the air. No, this is like a whole fucking mansion. You just drop it on the landscape whenever you want to sleep.
If we shove it up somebody's ass and try to activate it, what will happen?
They will die.
I mean,
Thanos
it's
style.
still like a dollhouse, man. So it
Says it pushes things away.
It does.
We just Thanos somebody.
I'm down.
Then yeah, we would end up getting to Mechitar. So we're you know that Geb resides in the Cinerarium, which is the central seat of his power, where his throne is located.
Like, we call ourselves the Sinners, and he is in the Cinerarium.
The Cinerarium, yes, that is true.
Spelled completely differently, but spelled more like cinema. Cinerarium.
Yeah, CINE. For some reason, my brain put a second N in there for cinnamon.
There's also a place called the Perdinatia.
Yeah, things get a little strange in Mechitar. Mechitar is interesting, and I know I kind of went into it a little bit when you were coming here the first time, but it's just such a sight. The tall buildings around Mechitar are wrapped in cloth, that's so much to the extent that it's providing a near constant dim light to the streets below. There are banners that are colorful and festive, even that are impossibly long, flapping in the sea breeze. As you are going into Mechitar, regardless of where you teleport yourself into, it's impossible not to look at the Cinerarium if you're within the wraps of the outer layer of the city. And one of the most defining features here as well, aside from the, massive pyramid, is the River of Rot. And the River of Rot goes around the exterior of the Cinerarium and drains into the Osium and then into the Awesome Harbor.
Awesome Harbor?
Awesome. OSSUM. Awesome.
That's fucking awesome, bro.
The fucking Awesome Harbor. Awesome Harbor? Anyway. But the river flows right into that. And that river has this consistent light green, slightly necrotic miasma that spills out and around it at all times. A lot of the Quick don't live around the River of Rot for obvious reasons. But there are so many sites in Mechitar that are not found anywhere in Golarion. Indeed, in many places outside of some of the outer planes. You are tasked to meet with Geb. You were called. When you arrive in Mechitar, how do you approach? Like what are we? Do you have any goal immediately? Like what are your expectations?
Yeah, first thing.
Secure lodging.
Well, we don't need secure lodging. We need to go buy a plot of land. I'd like to go see. We've got secure lodging.
True.
I want to go see. I want to go see whoever and find out what plots of land are for sale in Mechitar. See how much they cost. I know that's a crazy ass thing for me to throw at you from a DM's perspective.
It really is.
So, okay, all right. Let's go for now. Just find like a hotel to stay at, and as we have time, we can go look to buy a plot of land to put the theater on.
You kind of look around. You gotta check real estate.
I want to find out what the nice districts are. I want to find the pretty places.
It doesn't even have to be in town. It could be just outside of town.
It could be outside of town. I like that it's full of pyramids, more Osirian homages.
Yeah, and even around the Cinerarium, there are almost less pyramids and more tetrahedrons. They don't have that square base. And even the Cinerarium doesn't have the square base. That's a triangle base. Is that right? Am I right? That's tetrahedron?
Fuck if I know.
Fuck if I know.
We have scientists and
I
math
think you're
people
right.
who listen
I think
to
that
us.
is a tetrahedron.
I'm gonna fucking make sure.
A pyramid is 4 sides, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Do I look like geometry?
Yeah. I got it.
You were right.
Tetrahedron is right.
Well done. 0 point for Tyler.
I don't know. But yes, they are not pyramids. They are tetrahedrons. And the Cinerarium is surrounded by that river of rot. There is nothing as far as land development or anything in that space except for the Cinerarium. It's just dirt. And the exterior tetrahedron structures are arrayed around the Cinerarium. There is a way to gain access to the Cinerarium. There are several bridges that lead across, and there are many places to access the high courts at the center of Mechitar. Once you've secured lodgings, where do you go from there?
I mean, how far away is this moon we're waiting for?
I would imagine if you had access to teleport,
If we had it.
you would pinpoint when you arrive in Mechitar.
If only.
If only. How soon to that prescribed date would you show up?
I mean, definitely want to be there early.
A week?
Wouldn't want a flight delay to ruin our vacation.
Like one day to settle in at the hotel, another to sightsee, go to the meeting on the third day?
Get our bearings. Because at the moment we have no other requirements
Not at all.
other than to meet with Geb, so...
Which, I mean, we can fucking hold that off. It's just Geb.
My schedule kind of filled up, Geb.
Sorry,
Need to
bud.
reschedule to, next month.
And then you get smited.
I'm gonna need you to roll another character for me.
Smote?
So we'll spend a week. I'll probably do shopping. I've spent this whole time not looking at the treasure vault
Oh, obviously.
when I should have. I'm definitely gonna pick up a few of the essentials. I'll pick up a few elixirs. Just kind of get to know the town. Definitely want to get to know the nightlife. I want to find some clubs, find where the cool kids hang out.
Some Geb clubs.
You know it. Oh, it's got to be great.
Oontis, baby.
Yeah. So roughly 2/3 of the city is undead, and the remainder are the quick that are here. And there's an obvious dichotomy.
My homies.
There's an obvious dichotomy between the two. For example, it becomes obvious spending a little time in Mechitar that the undead have, to an extent, made it so they don't need to have restaurants or meat markets or anything like that. So all of the area around the undead districts don't have any place for the quick to eat. It's almost as though they're off to the side, outside of the main section of where the Cinerarium is and the Ebon Mausoleum.
I'm gonna start a fucking quick uprising.
You do it. Start a war. Arius wants you to.
Yeah, bro. That's why he's been antagonizing me this
The
whole
whole
time.
time just wants you to start a war.
I don't know. You could just, go against all of Geb.
I don't give a fuck about Geb. How long's Geb been around?
Oh, don't say that too loud.
Yeah, a few millennia.
Couple days.
There's also the Ebon Mausoleum. The Ebon Mausoleum is on the northern edge of the city, the northernmost tetrahedron. It's a sprawling campus of houses that houses the foremost authority on necromancy, and it commands the attention with every pronouncement, a congress, an edict. It's made entirely of glass, designed to nullify the effect of sunlight, very much like the dome on the Theater of Sin. And there are thousands of metal rods and stone pillars around the Ebon Mausoleum. It's basically the necromancy college in Mechitar. But even still, there's the Cathedral of Epiphenomena, and that is a massive temple to Urgathoa. Some other places that you find, and you're especially familiar with this at this point, the Grand Cirque Bazaar, which is where a lot of the marketplace is, and you see merchants who are hawking wares of all kinds, down to and including auction of mindless undead servants or warriors, or, you know, specialized undead, even golems or undead constructions of different kinds. There's a market for all sorts of things. Not food of any kind, but goods, magic amulets, and all sorts of artifacts are traded here. Now, not everything is bright, effective commerce in Mechitar. The Vassal Alley is this section of the wall where it meets, where there are wraiths that prowl the shadows of the district that feed on any quick that manage to wander in there unknowingly. It is not uncommon for the Bellator Mortis, the guard, to just avoid Vassal Alley, unless a prominent bloodlord commands them to go in. But there are a lot of different places in Mechitar that you could visit, that you could see.
Yeah. We go window shopping, maybe buy a couple new outfits, and check out the nightlife every night. See what's up. Get involved. Wait for our meeting.
Go to some vamp dens.
You know it. I'm getting myself into a rave like Blade.
We don't know anything about, like, Bloodlord Haldoli being there here or anything. We haven't heard from her in a while, actually, probably.
Haven't heard from her in a while. That's correct. Sounds like we fast forward to the meeting.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we've done everything we want to do.
Hit the skip button.
You walk to one of the bridges that crosses the River of Rot to access the Cinerarium. One of the guards holds a hand up in front of you.
State your business.
We have a meeting.
With,
Geb.
well, go on.
Looks you up and down. You check somebody who's doing detect magic.
I'm covered in it.
Say lots of it.
They're squinting their eyes and they're scanning you up and down. They're looking for something specific, but they move on from you. Kicks everybody, and they wave you on.
All right.
Making sure we don't have anything positive on
I
it.
said nobody has something stupid on them, right?
No.
For some fucking reason, I thought somebody had something stupid.
No, like a lot of we had some scrolls and shit, but we destroyed them all.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
he's got.
destroyed
You
all the
had some
spells.
scrolls, and you burned them. Yes.
And there was a sword or something like that that we like
Just
tossed
kicked.
or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
tossed it.
Straight up. Yes,
Just
you're
yeeted
absolutely
that
right.
shit. You're like, nope,
Absolutely.
not getting caught with that shit.
Yep.
Even though somebody in the party likes to cast positive spells.
I was gonna say, I feel like somebody does. That's what
Oh,
it was.
it's
David
me.
for
Yeah,
his
I
positive
cast
spells.
every now and then. I'll cast disrupt
You
undead. Yeah,
fucking douche.
You fucking.
I learned it before I was dead. It's still there. Every now and then, you just gotta bust it out.
I'm so disappointed in you, David.
You cross the dirt ground leading up to the Cinerarium, and it feels steeped in necromantic energy. Lucan, you're familiar with it, but also everybody is touched by this constantly, whether by rituals cast on you, like in Kix's case, or having been touched by undeath in such a profound way. The ground just emanates this power. And as escorted or directed toward the entry of the Cinerarium. A bureaucratic lobby is what you see when you first walk in. And they demand to know your business, and you let them know that you have a meeting with Geb. And the first clerk that you come across rolls their eyes into their head. They're a husk zombie, and I'm sure you do. And they go back and start looking through paperwork. Then their eyes go wide, and
Yes, please. To the High Court immediately.
Thank you.
and a guard escorts you through the halls of the Cinerarium. You eventually find your way, after a long travel, to what must be the throne at the High Court's heart.
It is a very big building.
Instead of Geb sitting on that throne, you see one of his many emissaries. Sitting in the throne is a female mummy dressed in a vibrant green Osiriani-style dress with a gleaming golden headdress and a semicircle arrayed about her head. She also has
She's got a kitty!
an undead Siamese kitty
I love it!
that she holds.
I hate those cats.
She receives petitioners and determines if their concerns warrant Geb's time. And you're set in, waiting in line outside of this grand hall where the throne sits. The previous petitioner is dismissed, and you were called before
Dizan Dizul, Grand Marshal. These are Lucan Hollow, Arius, Kix, and Shara Imbrex. Yes. The sinners we've heard you called.
Yeah, it's just a little fun title. Honored to meet you.
I was the one who had reached out to you using the sending spell.
Ah, excellent. Well, we have come.
Good.
She looks to the side and rolls her eyes up.
Look, my schedule is full, and I assume the same of yours. If you are to become the nation's newest bloodlords, then let's be on with it. You must prove yourself to ensure that the subjects who approach the Ghost King can see your devotion. And what better way to prove one's devotion than a processional?
She muses with a leathery smile, and her cat purrs.
If it means being a bloodlord, bring on the procession.
Yes, come with me.
And she gets down off the throne and walks to a side door and beckons you to follow.
I do?
Everyone?
Yeah.
Sure.
Beckon me.
I'm not exactly sure what she means by a processional, but okay.
I thought processionals were for like dead people and stuff. Like, isn't a processional like?
Aren't we dead?
Yeah, we are dead, so
She invites you out onto a balcony, which affords just a glorious view of the plaza, the river of rot, and the road that encircles the Cinerarium. There are no less than 4 processionals that are being led by revelers who make their way around the open plaza surrounding the central tetrahedron. Each processional is a display that's orchestrated by and performed by citizens of Mechitar who, among the celebrants, are some of the largest participators, declare their support of the nation. So this is actually something that is not necessarily, when I say a recent development, it's recent in the time frame of the undead. You see what are almost like floats, essentially, of the different factions, lower factions, even higher factions here, the Celebrants. Church of Urgathoa has a procession that's running right now, and they are colorful, and there are streamers of all colors. Even the Quick there have their faces painted in skull mask paint.
We would like to see your devotion.
Excellent. I will show it.
You have a week to put together a processional and show the Ghost King Geb your devotion.
A week to put together a processional.
Devotion
Yes.
to what? To him?
To him. Let's talk rule ship for a sec.
This can't really be something in the book, is it? Jesus Christ.
100% it is.
Is there a way around it?
Is there a way to
I was
avoid
expecting
this?
this to go. Okay.
Skip. Fast forward.
This is a downtime activity called Prepare the Processional. Sorry, you get 4 days. You spend 4 days incorporating the following elements into your processional, and you get up to 4 elements. You come up with a theme for the processional, and the theme would allow you to draw upon like a religion check to show devotion to Urgathoa, or the inclusion of Zant Kuthan, or something about Geb's history or politics. You could also create an exhibit, perhaps really get into pageantry, perhaps hire dancers and people like that,
Oh, I will lead the dancing.
and all that good stuff. Then there's the perform the processional downtime activity.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Ted, Spencer, and I are going to go take a break for an hour. David, let us know what you come up with.
You just hit me up when you need those crafting checks.
All I see is something that says intimidation, and that's all I'm gonna read.
Shara has no desire to, like, put on a big spectacle. That's ridiculous. And I can't imagine Arius would.
Oh, but darling, come on. A big spectacle? It'll
I'll
be
intimidate
wonderful.
people. I got no problem going around intimidating
Yes,
people.
yes. You two can just stand there and be very intimidating. You'll be the gods. I'll put everything else together. Kix, are you interested?
Dude, I'll do some exhibits.
Fantastic.
Oh, wait, what's my deception?
You're good at crafting. You should help us create... We need a vehicle, I think.
Are you trying to deceive Lucan or what?
Well, no, there is one. It's oh, never mind. I don't have any. Well, it said the one for exhibits was both.
Yeah, you can create like puppets on a float,
Exhibits
or like decorate
and pageantry
vehicles.
both have crafting.
Oh, it's or. I thought you had to have like all of those or some shit.
There's no we make checks 4 times.
I gotta threaten people to come watch this 4 times.
You get to do that once.
No. You're creating the themes. So there's basically research, physical crafting.
Nah, Revelers just flat out says you recruit a large number of locals to take part in your professional. You use intimidation to threaten them.
You only do
I
that
get to go
once.
around and threaten people to be part of this.
Yes, you do.
You're right.
Yes,
Actually,
you do.
Do I get more people because I have group coercion and I'm a master in intimidation?
Oh god, that'll just come with the check, man. So okay, so basically we prepare this, and there's 4 steps to this for preparing the processional. So first we decide on a theme. For this, we just have to make some sort of research check here, whether you're making a religion check or a society check. What is the theme of the processional?
The theme is going to be the rich history and tradition upon which Geb was built, from the ashes of an Osirian society that could not measure up into the glory of Geb. So I'd like to incorporate some Osirian stuff, but just a little bit different as it is here. I'm thinking of a bunch of people wearing old Osirian garb, but then with like the colors and a few flares of modern Geb society.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a society check.
I get a 26.
26 fails.
You need a 28. It says so on the stat block.
I know. Anybody else have society to help me with this?
Why didn't you pick something you were better at?
I'm not good at that. Well, no, I'm good at a lot of things, but like,
Why didn't you ask somebody that is good at it to do it?
36.
how it works, I didn't read. We all get to make the check, right?
Everybody can make their own. This is like 4
we put
days
our heads
that you're
together
preparing
on this,
right? Yeah, you're putting your heads
Religion
together.
instead.
You can absolutely do religion instead.
My religion is the same.
So each of us does whichever check we want for each one.
I failed by 1.
There, we destroy it.
Not really.
Yeah, we have one really good society, one really good religion check.
Lucan failed.
They're both just successes.
Kix, what are you using?
I did society and got a 36.
So Kix corrects everything that Lucan was trying to.
I'm the ideas guy. You go through and make sure it's actually accurate. But this would look so good, Kix. But it's not
You're a fool.
historically accurate.
Then Arius comes in and is like, Zerial did all of this. I crit failed. On my society check, I crit failed.
Why would you do society?
Because I thought we were doing society first, so I did roll the society with my -1. I rolled a
terrible.
16.
I mean, that was a pretty good roll, but you know.
And then I tried religion, and I still fucking failed by 1.
Well,
Because
no
I'm still just saying
negatives.
Zerial.
No negatives, which is great. Cheryl, what'd you use?
Religion. And I got
Religion.
34.
It's 34. Okay, so you are going to, as a whole, receive 2 preparation points in determining the theme, as you're incorporating the undead and how that is better than the Assyrian culture and what Geb has kind of created here with his ideas of necromancy from his Assyrian homeworld and how it's better. You create that union. The second day, you have to work on creating the physical elements of the processional's display. This is what exactly you're going to be physically carrying or having somebody carry for the processional.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I want like us to be on a wagon that moves, that's maybe moved by Sundrinker, and decorate it with a bunch of flowers.
Okay.
So
Now-
maybe a nature check for floristry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, for like, if you're just providing manual labor to put this whole thing together, you can absolutely go ahead and just give me an athletics check.
I got a 40.
Dang.
Shara critically succeeds and
Sure is very good at the manual labor. I almost critically succeed on my decorating. Get a 37.
37 is a success.
Yep. All right. We make a really dope ass, and I want it to be flat with enough space for people to dance, because that's going to be the main thing. We're going to be dancing. I'm hiring dancers.
Okay.
That's under pageantry, it looks like.
Yes.
All right.
So it looks like Arius doesn't do the greatest at the manual labor. Every time Arius goes to do something, Shara's doing it already.
Arius is still just upset that Zerial is not going to be part of the theme.
Kix, how are you assisting in the exhibit phase? Are you crafting?
I'm crafting hard, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, 40's a critical success.
I straight up fucking like science project this shit.
Hell yeah.
So it looks fucking great. So that's 2 critical successes and 1 success. So it looks like Sundrinker was assisting with labor as well.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so that's 7 total preparation points so far.
Yeah.
That takes us down to the pageantry. Day 3, you create costumes and accessories for the participants to carry or wear during the processional.
And I choreograph a dance.
And you can choreograph a dance.
And I go to as many of the Gebbian gay clubs as I can and hire as many
Gebbian gay clubs.
great fellow drag queen dancers and just hot dancers that I can.
That's actually day 4.
That's day 4? Oh, okay. Pageantries.
Day 3, you're just like choreographing the dance.
They only have 1 day to learn this. That's not enough, Tyler.
It'll be fine.
Okay. All right. I'll make the deception check then to craft the costumes and get a 36.
Okay. 36 is a success.
Oh, these costumes are so hot.
So hot.
They do look hot. Who's helping craft?
We're still on craft
You can do
again?
another crafting, or you can do a performance or a deception.
38.
That
Crit.
is a critical success.
They call me the crafter.
I designed them. Kix makes them.
Dude, I make fucking soul jars or whatever. I'm not even gonna become a lich. I'm just gonna make soul cages for people. It's an art I'm really good at. Just really piss off the fucking follow. He's like, no, we're supposed to become a lich, not provide.
Working for a goal.
Not help other people become liches.
You just chose capitalism.
Yeah.
That's the evilest thing I could think of. So we've got the choreography and the crafting of the costumes. I don't think Shara or Arius really can
They're not. No.
do
it's
anything
fine.
this day.
No, I got this crafting, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh? You rolled a 17 and I had a glimmer of hope. What a fool I am.
That 17 gives me a 16.
It's a critical failure.
Arius
I
makes things
also
worse.
I critically failed my deception check.
Oh boy.
I rolled a nat one.
All right. On to the revelers. I am going
Yes.
to teach my army of drag queens.
So we end up with a -1 that day?
Yeah, overall you get a -1 that day.
Oh my
Guys,
gosh.
I'm critting all over the place. What the fuck are you doing?
After this crit failure, Arius is just pissed and he's gonna go yell at some people.
Wait, no, kicks.
Yeah,
kicks.
intimidation.
That should be a
Net 2.
an even.
Net 2.
Net nothing.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be net 1?
No, critical failure loses you 1. The critical success gains you 2.
Yeah. So
I get crit failed as well.
Kix got 2,
Oh, so it's
Lucan
not
got 1,
and you
and then
both subtract
Arius
1.
and I both critically failed.
Why are you guys even helping?
So net 1.
You were supposed to be bodyguards.
This is a team building exercise.
It is a team building exercise.
Like, this is one of the few times when the group project doesn't need the group.
All right, so Arius is going to intimidate people to take part. I understand, right? What'd you get on that
Yep.
check?
33.
That's a success. What, Lucan?
Lucan gets a 35 to inspire my army of dancers to share in my artistic vision.
That is also a success.
I followed my nat 1 with a nat 2, so I got a 23.
Well, at least it's not a critical failure.
This is not a critical failure.
You just kind of stand behind Arius as he's doing all the intimidating. Kix, anything you want to help with here?
What is this one? What do I get?
This is gathering revelers.
Diplomacy, intimidation, or performance?
Yeah.
No, because I'm smart and I'm not gonna roll my 0 roll.
You've done all the hard work of the crafting after Shara and Arius came and just fucked it up on day 3.
Fuck this.
So that means we've got 2 overall on day 4.
All right.
So what does that give us overall? 9?
That gets us, I think it gets us
10.
to
Was it
11.
10 or 11? Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The actual point range is from 9 to 13. So, okay. I've got your preparation points here. Then there's the moving on to the performing the processional.
Hell yeah.
Party works together to lead their processional
just
through the
preparing?
streets and on a circuit around the cinerarium. The processional takes 6 hours to complete
Hell yeah.
as
Okay.
the characters attempt to impress Dazan and the celebrants.
So here's my vision. We've got the masterfully crafted cart by Kix. It's nice and flat for my very sexy and well-dressed dancers to dance in sync with me on. And we have Sundrinker probably kind of wrapped around the back of it, but then also pushing it to make it move. And then Arius and Shara just up there looking badass. Kix, I don't know, what do you want to do in this whole thing?
I've done my thing.
You're not going to be okay. You can just ride there, looking.
Look at my beautiful crafties.
looking tieflingy, looking like a quick. We hide the quick. We hide the quick behind all the undead.
Yeah, you disgust Gab.
Yeah, he's not with us. He's not with
Throw a
us.
sheet over him with Cut Smile a lot.
But yes,
yeah.
even my skeleton and ghoul and zombie dancers are fantastic. And also, I cast a spell that I've forgotten I had for a couple of levels. I did take one level in Bard Dedication, which got me two cantrips, two Bard cantrips, and one of the ones I took was musical accompaniment. And when heightened to 5th level, it lasts for 24 hours. I'm surrounded by orchestral music that shifts and changes to match my behavior. The music provides a +1 status bonus to performance checks. It can provide bonuses to like deception, diplomacy, intimidation at your discretion because it's cool music.
Okay.
The music moves with me and has a maximum volume equal to 4 humans shouting.
Huh. Okay. So here's the way that the processional is going to work from a skill check standpoint, because that's really cool. I like that. That adds the performance aspect to it. The processional is going to work a little bit like a ritual. There's going to be a primary processional check that will be made by somebody, and then there are secondary processional checks that are adding to that primary. So any of these can be the primary check, like the acrobatics to perform eye-catching stunts, or intimidation to appear menacing, or the performance with the dance and the entertaining the audience. Any of those can be the primary, and you can have any number of secondary checks between the party. So
look at that circus lore. Who'd have thought we'd run into that in?
Yeah,
Right, I look at that circus lore.
is an appropriate lore check you can make: theater lore, Mechitar lore, or circus lore.
Well, I feel like my performance should be the primary check in a thematic sense, but in a mechanical sense,
it should, highest.
it should probably be the intimidation. It's like, make us bloodlords or else. And then Luke is just in the
Lucan
back.
is doing all this fucking work to put on this huge freaking display, and it's just Arya standing there.
Arms crossed.
That is the primary check. Just Arya's looking freaking menacing as all hell.
So okay, so who thinks they've got the highest checks?
Is our intimidation the same? Yeah, it's the same. We both have a +21.
Yeah, why not? Go for it, Arius. Be intimidating.
Be
I
intimidating.
get to be it? Okay.
Arya's doing the primary check.
After all of that, yes, Arius can be the primary check.
We make our secondary checks.
Secondary
That's
checks come
secondaries.
first, yeah, and that might not be a bad idea. Lucan, you don't have a hero point.
I don't.
Arius does.
All right, I do get a +1 circumstance on this.
Oh, is this a 28 also? Was I one short of critting?
No, this DC is different.
Oh, okay.
Can I be doing my like god tier aids in this?
I don't get like a fucking hero point for being all excited about this. And
You know what? Yeah, actually,
Hell yeah.
Being all excited about this.
actually participating with yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah! I get a 36. 36
I'm
performance.
gonna roll a fucking 2, and then I'm gonna roll like a 1.
So, Shira's intimidation on the secondary succeeds with the 37. Lucan's performance and the dancers do so well, succeed with the 36 on the hero point. Kix is stuffed in the trunk.
I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't see what I roll.
That leaves us
Hold on,
with
I gotta make sure I'm actually lined up to click on it. Okay.
Arts.
I'm just gonna hear your reactions.
Don't look. Guess.
I'm gonna guess a nat 1.
Yeah, you did.
You might want to hit that. You can't do worse. You can't do worse.
That was
Do I get a
great.
hero point for
That was
guessing
great, Ted.
Oh shit! You already have a
You can't
hero
use
point.
more than,
We're
you can't use
hiding
more
it
than
again.
one hero point, anyways.
Reroll here. Reroll here. Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
Natural 1. Guaranteed.
Nah.
Not
I'm
much
gonna guess
better.
it's mediocre. Okay. Oh. 5.
I mean, it's not a nat 1, but
All that work. Kix put together just a gorgeous float, but just fails to deliver somehow.
Is this like the big moment and I just fucked it up? by yelling out, "Cereal!"
Wait, no, Gab.
That's it.
I just like held with the sword, all hail Cereal! And like Lucan's back there, no, Gab! What?
That's exactly what happens.
Absolutely what happened.
Oh, fuck. Hell
We
yeah.
had 2 successes. That had to have helped, right? Bump that 26 up to like a 20, a 30. Come on.
So you complete your round about the Cinerarium. The processional.
I like how you're like, okay, you guys both rolled really well. That means I'm gonna roll like shit.
I knew it. Man, I was really hoping that when you guys were laughing, it was actually a nat 20. That's why with the nat 1, I wanted to be wrong.
No, you nailed it.
So when you
nailed
guys said, yeah, I was so disappointed.
it. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I like it. I think it's funny.
I'm not gonna help you make Bloodlord though.
The procession wraps up, and you get the wagon back to the ending point, and you begin to tear down. And Lucan, you just have this feeling like that did not go great. It wasn't a catastrophic failure, but it didn't go great either. Could have been better. It doesn't take that long after you finish your processional. Within a half an hour, even. Dazan contacts you via a sending spell.
Geb will see you an hour after the next sundown. Meet me in the High Court, and I will escort you to him.
Very well, I say, breathless after my 6-hour-long performance.
6 hours of dancing?
I am so sweaty right now.
Nothing. For nothing.
This is the worst procession for Zerial I've ever seen.
I think you're confused.
Well, yeah, I go back to wherever we're staying and relax for a bit. Get washed up, take a shower or a bath or whatever.
Oh, Argoon was with you, too.
That's true. He was. He could have lended us a hand.
We lost 10 again.
Dude, that one was actually, that was alright.
That was actually a decent one. I just
No, it wasn't. It was terrible.
That's the same joke we've made a million times.
over and over and over again.
That's why it's so good. It's one of those like you had to be there jokes, except not at all, because
You just keep telling it over and over and over again until it gets funny again.
It doesn't work like that. Ever.
Then when you're ready to head out, you have to be there an hour after next sundown, which is in a few hours.
All right. I put on my best clothes and get ready to go.
When you arrive at the Cinerarium, then you're escorted by all of the layers of guards and bureaucracy to get to Dazan. She says,
Well, at least you didn't humiliate yourselves.
Well, we're pretty good at humiliating ourselves as well.
I wanted to be like, who made all these cool ass projects? And then I come out of the closet and be like, yeah,
This is
it
our
was
quick?
me, your favorite son.
wait, Kev is your father?
Yeah, dude, this is Maury. Geb, you were the father.
She escorts you down some hallways here.
I am surprised. Geb still wants to see you.
Well, what can I say? We've done some works. Perhaps presentations aren't our forte, but mysteries, fighting, discovery.
Geb is busy, but he's made time to receive you nonetheless. He won't be alone, though. Another visitor will also be in attendance.
Very well.
Eventually, after going through a bunch of underground levels and hallways. You end up in a small lecture hall on an underground level, and there are 5 rings of benches that sit empty in the semicircular balcony above the central pulpit, where 2 figures engage in conversation at a large metal table. You see on one side of the table, His Majesty.
Fucking Geb. I was not sure we'd actually meet Geb, even in this AP, but that's pretty fucking cool.
Geb now, there's a lot of art of Geb out there. Geb, when he was living, does not look quite exactly like Geb. His head and neck and chin have that very, like, Egyptian pharaoh motif design, except for it's his face, I guess. He just has very sharp features.
Well, different artists will portray him looking differently. But yes, even as self-assured as Lucan is, walking in front of Geb is quite humbling, and I'm certain I can't fully calm my nerves, and I'm fairly excited at this and nervous at this encounter.
On the other side of the table sits this ghoul.
That dude's ugly.
Gas.
I like him. Kind of looks aquatic with the fins on his head, like an aquatic ghoul.
Does Geb really just have like a little patch of hair up top?
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
I won't comment.
Anybody can give me a society check on that second figure.
No, not with the 21.
How about a 3?
How about a 4?
3 and
Everybody
4.
Beat you,
that up.
Arius.
Only because
society?
you don't have a negative to your intelligence. Fuck you. You're so
rolled exactly
so much smarter than me.
Oh,
None of us know who this person is.
Kix rolls a 2 and gets a 20.
he's no one important.
Our highest roll is a 21.
You have just absolutely no idea who this other...
This is Greg from
We definitely
State
had some
Farm.
crit fails. Give us false information. Who is this?
This looks like, it must be Tafgekta's father. Must be.
Okay, next question. Who's Tafgetka?
High Governor of Grey
The
Dirge,
High Governor of
obviously.
Grey Dirge.
I don't remember them. That doesn't sound
We
familiar.
met him like once. We met him at a banquet, and he ate a lot. I remember.
I don't think I was there for that.
That's fair.
You absolutely were.
Arius doesn't remember that.
It was one of those sessions where he wasn't here.
Yeah.
We skipped out
Arius was out jumping his neighbor's car.
like skeletons do.
As you walk in, you notice that the ghoul actually has this torso that's floating. Like, the actual bottom half of the torso is just, like, ripped with a spine that's dangling and some entrails hanging off of it, but it's floating there. And as Geb and this ghoul are talking, instead of the ghoul talking to Geb, he puts his hand on the skull of this floating undead creature who speaks for him. As you enter, Dizan announces,
Your Majesty, as you've requested, the sinners, Lucan Hollow, Arius, Kix, and Shera Imbrex.
the ghoul is interrupted by Geb, who puts a hand up when the announcement happened to pause the discussion that they're having. The ghoul stands silently, holds his hands behind his back, and regards you with a faint but curious glance. Geb sweeps forward. Greetings, sinners.
What's up, bruh?
I take a very low bow. Your Majesty, it is my honor.
Of course. Seldeg is an old colleague of mine, and he spoke very highly of you. As he sweeps closer, the temperature in the room lowers, and the sensation of worry washes over all of you. Dazan steps back into the shadows at the edge of the room, but she doesn't exit. Step forward. Introduce yourselves to Kortash Kane, the sovereign ruler of the ghoul depths of Nemret Nocturia.
Can you say the name one more time?
Probably not.
Kortash Kane.
Oh, they meant the Nemreth.
No, he's the ruler of the city Nemret Nocturia. Anybody could give me a society check on that one, actually.
Sure, real quick, if I could know, like, how the ruler might be thought it would be lord or whatever.
Nat 20.
If I know anything about it.
Does that even succeed with your net 20?
Nat 20, you get a 20. Shara, it's almost as though this might have been imparted to you somehow, whether it's from your recent change into a ghoul or some other divine inspiration, but you know exactly what he means when he says Nemret Nocturia. It's a place that exists in the Darklands. It is a city inhabited almost entirely by ghouls in this society that worships Cabriri, who is said to be the first ghoul and is a demon lord who resides in the lower planes. And Kortash Kane, this one's actually more for Lucan with a 30. Kortash Kane might be one of the most powerful spellcasters short of Geb that exists on the material plane. This ghoul has been ruling Nemret Nocturia.
I'm calling bullshit. There's some strong casters.
This ghoul has ruled Nemret Nocturia for nearly as long, if not longer, than Geb has held the throne in this country.
So it's one of those things, like, I don't recognize him, I don't know what I look like, but then as soon as these introduced, it's like, oh fuck, I know who that is.
Yes, exactly.
Alright.
Kortash has come to us today concerned of whispered rumors. Rumors that suggest potential shortfalls of certain trade exports to his domain from our coffers.
I assume you speak of the tainted foodstuffs from the farm surrounding Grey Dirge.
That's the same campaign. That's so long ago.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
But the ghouls eat that food.
Indeed, Shira makes a point, Lucan.
Well, the livestock that feeds on it being tainted. And by livestock, I mean humanoids, of course.
Give me another society check.
29?
You know that the relationship between the two rulers and their realms is tenuous. The trade route that exists is one of Nemret Nocturia's only way to get goods into the city, and although Nemret Nocturia is not like a poor city by any means, it's a thriving ghoul city in the Darklands. But really, when you live for so long, what you really need is things to entertain yourself and things to keep you occupied during your, eternal in life. So many fashions and styles and trends and hobbies and games come from the surface occasionally down to Nemret Nocturia for some of those ghoulish elites to entertain themselves with. But the relationship between the two hasn't always been the best. Geb smirks and looks at you and says, "In times as fraught and uncertain as these, is it wise to continue to send exports beyond our borders when we may need, these resources to ourselves in the future?"
Sounds like most of what is sent is not necessarily material goods. Is it not best to continue to curry favor?
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy check, Shara.
Or if not material goods, not essential goods at least.
I'm living in a material world.
Ooh, 19 on the die for a 40.
Geb's eyebrows rise a bit, and you notice that the ghoul cocks ahead and looks at you closer, Shara. He doesn't look displeased with what he sees.
Oh, he thinks you're cute.
Yeah, I'm sure they can completely see right through my, like, disguise thing.
Yeah, oh
My
yeah.
magic.
Yeah, oh yeah. I have decided to raise you, given some of your exploits, and in your time with Seldeg, as I said, he spoke highly. Those who rise through my ranks do so with their own ambitions. He looks to Shara. You are wise to suggest that we continue exporting. I do not care really your stance one way or the other. I have my own agenda. And he waves his hands to the side. I have a task for you.
Like he just don't care. I don't know why everything you're saying is making me think of a song. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I have a task for you.
We would be honored to accept.
I will have you settle into your new accommodations. You will be assigned a blood claim, and permission to requisition a single item of value from my stores of treasures and resources. One for each of you. Dazan can arrange it. I also task you with being escorts to Kortash Kane in your time in Mechitar.
Very well. An honor we would take on.
So I assume like an honorary escort, as he's one of the most powerful spellcasters.
Right, yeah.
Shara, give me a sense motive check.
We'll get in the way for a moment while he casts the spells.
What is that, perception in this one?
Yeah, it is.
A 30.
Yeah, sense motive on Geb. Good luck.
This isn't on Geb, this is on Kortash. As he says that, Kortash stiffens, but says nothing. This first assignment that he's giving you offhandedly in the middle of this diplomatic meeting seems to be some sort of provocation, but he doesn't take the bait. But he's not exactly... This is like a heavy air quotes gift. He's not going to reject it, but he seems a little off-put by Geb's move here.
To offer such weaklings.
Basically nobodies to...
Yeah, basically, like, oh, by the
Escort
way,
him.
you're bloodlords now? Why don't you escort this guy around the city while he's here?
Wait, we're bloodlords already?
Yeah, that's literally just...
Yep, that was it.
Oh, I
He was
missed
just
I missed
he's
that.
Like, I'm pointing you bloodlords now.
It's like, hey, I'm going to make you like the cashier manager, and by the way, go show the CEO around.
Yeah, right.
Wait, so if people call me quicks now, I can like cut them up?
You are still a quick.
I'm still
Cortez
considered
puts
a
his
quick?
hand on the floating ghoul that's next to him, and the voice, as it's been dictated, says in common,
Very well. Once you settle into your new accommodations, seek me out at Coffinstone Manor. I wish to get to know my new honor guard and have a few tasks for you.
Yes, very well, Lord Kortash.
At that moment, Kortash turns to sit back down at the table. Geb sweeps back up and also, air quotes, sits at the table, and they begin discussing. They have obviously dismissed you.
You can't dismiss me. I'm a bloodlord. Right?
Yeah, go right ahead and try to tell him.
And he gives you a bored hand wave. He waves you away.
I give a bow and do not overstay my welcome.
Yeah, Shiro will bow to each of them separately, and then
And there it is. We are now Bloodlords. Let the power fantasy begin. Right after this escort quest. But anyway, join us next time as we are and continue Bloodlords. And until then, may you have many great adventures of your own.
It's your turn.